Modern Savage Podcast.
Hello, we'll begin. That's how I roll right here. Now, welcome to the Modern Savage Podcast. Today, the role of Josh Price will be played by Papa Tom. Now, we were talking about CTE, the neurodegenerative disease found in people who have had multiple head injuries. Because we're doing a football-themed podcast today. Now, I worry about this because I'm into combat sports, but also it's pretty much any contact sport in general. You know, hockey, wrestling, soccer, just even like they say, even being in the military and repeated banging of the head. And I don't know what the difference is between a concussion and CTE. Like I don't know if like I believe CTE is what happens with repetitive concussions. Like, you know what I mean? No, yeah. Well, research into brain damage as a result of repeated head injuries began in the 1920s, at which time the condition was known as punch drunk. That's CTE. So that's just been around forever.
CTE has been around forever, undiagnosed, but it is a real thing. The NFL's paying out $100 billion lawsuit on it, so you know it's real. I don't know how they're getting nailed like that, and boxing and MMA go along, but it's definitely a real thing now.
Boxing I get, because boxing is primarily punches to the head. That's the goal. Well, that's the goal in MMA, but you also have the luxury of having wrestling and jiu-jitsu and getting choked out isn't CTE, and it's not causing a concussion.
Getting knocked out is the very description of it, and that is the object of the game.
Well, oh, absolutely. But choked out's different. If you choking out, like a rear naked chokehold, like where you get the forearm and the bicep across the throat, you're cutting off the carotid, which stops the blood flow, which makes you pass out. That's not causing brain damage, supposedly.
You still get knocked out.
You're still going unconscious, which probably isn't good for you in the long run, but it's not a concussion.
And a big thing of it is, I was just hearing that, youth football is way down. Parents ain't letting them get into it no more.
Oh, yeah.
And as $100 billion lawsuits go, sooner or later, we'll be sitting here on Sunday watching Pro Bowlers.
No, I won't. I guarantee it. Even kid Xander's age. Xander's 7 now. I remember 7-year-old playing tackle football when I was a kid. But his is all flag football. Like, they have to wear like a belt with a silly little tassel on the side of it. And even still, he tripped and headbutted someone. And ended up with a big goose egg on like the front of his nose, like between his eyebrows. I didn't even know you can goose egg there. It's amazing. It's like he exclusively gets hit in the face. He's one of those people that just he can take a face shot. But I'm looking into it deeper right now. It's a repetitive mild traumatic brain injury. First stage symptoms include attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Shit. Which, for anyone who's ever listened to this podcast, knows I'm pretty famous for that one. And I wonder if I took a shot to the head or something as a kid, or just repetitive growing up, that probably didn't do it any favors.
I don't think so. Repetitive, I think you're talking about like 40 times at a practice football thing, not like someone whacking you once a month or something,
Second stage symptoms include memory loss, social instability, impulsive behavior, and poor judgment. Like, that's every pro athlete. You know what I mean? It's everyone that you've ever seen being a jackass. It's Terrell Owens, like we were talking about, going into the Hall of Fame. Like, is that CTE? Is that what the cause was?
I don't know. I think he was just born a jackass.
And it could also be like that, the nature versus nurture thing, because a lot of football players, I'm not even speaking like, racial wise, come from like a poor upbringing. And you hand any kid a couple $1 million, they're going to go insane. And that,
Yeah, I can see it must be the year of the jackass also. Randy Moss is going in with him.
exactly. Well, Big Ben, the motorcycle accident. Who the hell you got a big contract and you wreck a motorcycle? Why are you driving a crotch rocket? They just handed you like $100 million.
Like you said, that was the age. What was he? 22, 23?
First couple of years.
You drive anything.
You think they're going to get another quarterback in this draft?
I do. I've been doing a little research on the draft, and they're looking at a guy named Lamar Jackson. I think he's from Louisville. Big, strong arm guy, needs some seasoning is what I hear.
Really? See, I that's what I was thinking. Like, I thought maybe Ben has maybe 1 or 2 seasons left in him, but like more of like a Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers kind of role, where he's in there and then he slowly phases himself out.
Yeah, I think it'll be hard for him to do this year, though.
Yeah.
With Ryan Shazier probably not coming back, and
Ever.
got a big hole there to fill in the first round. So.
Meanwhile, the Browns, there's a shit ton of college players just sweating it out right now. Just how would you feel being a college player, knowing that you have the potential to be drafted high, and knowing that the Browns have like a plethora of first and second round picks?
Oh, I don't know. It's just a bad situation to go to right now. But I mean, money's money. That's what
That's true, but a lot of people want that trophy.
You only got to play that first contract out, and then you go where you want.
That's true. Except that never works out for them.
No, they ruined their share of quarterbacks.
Where's Johnny Manziel? Where's what's this new one? Deshaun Kaiser?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he decent in college?
Yeah, he was a big guy in Notre Dame, but it's a big step. Not everybody makes it in their first year.
No.
Not everybody's Big Ben.
No. Well, that wasn't even his first year, was it?
Ben's?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was 1-15 his first year.
Well, what about that season he took
No,
over?
15-1. Sorry about that.
He went, didn't he take over for Tommy Maddox at the end of a year? His first year. So, like, his first real year. But, like, he played a year behind someone first.
No, that was his rookie year.
That Maddox got hurt?
Mm-hmm.
I thought Maddox was the starter that year.
Oh, you're taking me back here. That's 15 years now.
Oh, that's disgusting.
But I think he got hurt, like, real early in the season.
Really? I don't remember.
No, Roethlisberger never said. That was his rookie year.
Huh. I remember he came out and was superstar good right off the bat. I still have a problem with everybody's common complaint of him hanging onto the ball too much. I still take issue with that.
Looks like a little CTE coming, huh?
Well, not even that. Like when he's trying to make a play. Well, undoubtedly, he's going to have CTE. Like, he has so many concussions a year. I don't know how he makes it through protocol. I don't understand how in-depth the NFL concussion protocol is, though.
Well, I know they got the message. Everybody gets a little bump on the head, gets drug in a tent now, so I don't know what they're doing in there. Maybe having a drink or something. I don't know.
Just sit down, big fella. Here's a water
Yeah.
bottle. 'Cause in MMA, like when someone gets knocked out, they're suspended 60 to 90 days. Like you're not fighting again for a while. And that's probably pretty good. I mean, that gives you time for any symptoms to pop up. But you see players in the NFL get a good shot in the head and wobble to the locker room. You'll see them next week.
I don't know. They got some kind of baseline test they give them, and then during their concussion protocol, they got to retest and match that. And if they match it, they're in. That's big money.
Oof.
Look at Gronkowski this week.
Yeah. Is he playing?
He's playing. He's good to go.
Wow.
What a coincidence, huh?
It's a miracle.
You're good, big fella.
So what? He doesn't know his Kellers anymore. He can't recognize family. Like I told you earlier, I swear if they win this Super Bowl on any kind of like shady matter, I'm probably done. I can't do that. It's looking like it's weighted now. Like, I can't say that it's obviously rigged because you're not catching anyone doing anything, but it definitely feels like they're playing favorites.
I don't know. They point out every time something happens now with them, so I don't know if it's our paranoia or they are just leaning that way. So,
well, even with that touchdown that would have, whoops, that's fine. But even with that touchdown that would have gave the Steelers the win, and that's not even me being biased. That football broke the plane.
It did. They talk about a football move, and he went down. He's going down. He pulled the ball in and stuck it back out over the goal line. To me, that was a good play, and it really changed the face of what happened in the playoffs. If New England has to come to Pittsburgh, what happens?
Yeah, and I was led to understand that as soon as the ball breaks the plane, the play is dead. It's a touchdown. That was how I understood it. Like, because he had possession, made a football move, crossed the line, done.
Yeah, I don't know. Even the commissioner right now is revisiting. I don't think he knows what a catch is right now. So they're going to revisit that rule in the offseason is what I hear.
Well, you got to think, how many times have you seen someone dive for a pylon going out of bounds? You going to tell me one-handed they hung onto that ball all the way? I mean,
hey, my point exactly. I get it.
And that's not even me being a yinzer.
Look at Antonio Brown last year against the Ravens. What did he do? Stuck the ball out over the goal line.
Yeah.
It's not sort of the same thing.
Like, I understand, like, there's human error, but it's 2018. You have instant replay. You saw it. Like, you have 4K television and on an iPad right in your hands. You can see this.
Do you think when they call New York, they're really calling Bill Belichick?
That's the rumor, according to Pittsburgh Dad.
It is.
Which, that is probably one of the funniest things that's ever come out of Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh Dad?
Yeah. And I appreciate the longevity of that.
I think everybody identifies with it.
They do. And it's another one of those things where it pokes fun at Pittsburgh a little bit, but in like a stereotypical way. Like everybody, that's the Pittsburgh stereotype, but no one here gets mad about it. You know what I mean?
No, they wear it like a badge of honor.
As you should. Stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason, and sometimes they're real funny. Because we talk about freedom of speech a lot, and you haven't watched them, but Dave Chappelle put out like 4 specials in the past year and a half on Netflix, and I called it the most important 4 hours of comedy that's come out in 25 years.
I think he just won a Grammy this year for his comedy, didn't he?
Really?
I think so.
He should have. Absolutely. He did one just all about the free speech and everything. And he caught a lot of stuff because he said the word tranny, which he's in his 40s. He doesn't know another word for transsexual people. Like, but he didn't care. He didn't shy away from it. He came back with the next special and talked about it again. And you've watched the Chappelle Show before.
Oh, a long time ago. I don't remember much about it.
I remember how he played on stereotypes a lot, and I talk to people, and I don't think that you could fly with that show today. Like, I never see reruns of it.
I was more of a Chris Rock guy, and I know that ain't flying.
No. He's still doing comedy, though.
Is he?
Yeah. I don't know if he's doing specials or anything right now, But I listen to Joe Rogan talk, and I guess he's down at the Comedy Store sometimes in L.A., that's where all the big comics go to work out their stuff. Like, I think they have Joe Rogan, they have Segura, Bert Kreischer goes there, just all the big names. It's just a comedy club that's been around for 50 years, and they go down there, they do 10, 15 minutes, work it out, and that's kind of like their comedy gym.
Who's your favorite comic of all time?
I don't know, man. I think Tom Segura, probably. He's just been consistently funny. He has something like 4 or 5 specials out, and he just keeps getting better and better. You don't see that kind of growth.
I'm not too familiar with them, but showing my age, I was sort of a George Carlin guy.
Oh, Carlin's a classic. But he's another one, that work ethic. Because he did a new special every year. And just, when he recorded it, tossed it. He never repeated jokes. Just
Really?
Yeah. I mean, not all of them were classics. And he got a little bit, crotchety and bitter. But as far as never recycling material, he was the best about it. And there was what was it that I was watching? A documentary called Can't We Take a Laugh? Or Can't We Take a Joke? That was talking about that, and had him and like Lenny Bruce and just all the shit that he started with that, and like being arrested. And
Well, Lenny Bruce was a groundbreaking guy, though, wasn't he?
yeah, like he was getting arrested after shows for the things he was saying. Like, oh, man, you can't do that to people.
And I think that Steve Martin, he was filling stadiums in the 70s.
But he's another one that didn't continue to write.
Yeah.
Him and like Jay Leno, they talk about, like, Jay Leno had a very solid like hour and a half, but that's all he had. Like, he was a hilarious comedian, but as soon as he got like the Late Show or whatever the hell it was, yeah, I'm done. I'm not gonna write anymore.
Back to the CTE thing. You gonna let your kids play football?
See, it's hard for me.
That's why football's gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
I would prefer to push them more towards martial arts. I think there's a little bit more to learn there. But if they wanted to play football, I'd let them. How many hundreds of thousands of kids played football? I played football. I'm probably all right. I mean, yet to be determined, but like I'm okay.
You feel okay?
Yeah. Now, I mean, I'm a little bit rickety and I can't remember things, but
Check back.
yeah, we'll see where I am on the other side. I mean, I'm only like a third of the way done, so like, let's see where I'm at 60, and like, if I'm a little bit shaky, then we'll second guess it. And
I don't know. I think I would rather go with football than a sport where you're kicked in the head and punched in the head. So
the goal is not to get punched and kicked in the head, though.
that is the goal. And it isn't a goal to get hit in the head in football either, but it's just a part of the sport.
But it's a constant part of the sport with everyone. And it's not even...
And if you suck at MMA, it's going to be a constant part of that sport.
Touche. That's why you got to get good. You got, who the hell was it? You got guys like Dominic Cruz, who has been hit less than anyone. And like, that guy never gets tagged until like, I think his last fight he got his ass kicked. But like,
Or Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather's another one. See, he doesn't have CTE. He's just dumb.
He has a lot of money.
True. Did you see him? Did you hear about the video he posted?
No.
He posted a video of himself walking through a gym, and he walked up some steps, and the camera panned back, and he walked into an octagon.
Oh, I did see that.
Ooh, Floyd.
Sending a message there.
That's a bad message, my friend. You're not going to win that one. That's going to be shorter than the boxing match.
I don't think he's that stupid.
I think for money, he's that stupid. I think that for the right amount of money, I think that you can get him in that octagon.
Well, you're talking his theme there now.
Yeah, like you say, I'll give you $500 million, or a cut of the pay-per-view buys for 3 fights. He'll walk in there. He's gonna fight one of them, but like, you're probably not getting the other 2 out of him.
Hell yeah, that kind of money. What's the worst that happens? You lose.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. Give me my 150 million. I'll go in there and let Conor McGregor tee off.
When's it not enough money though? I mean,
well, we haven't seen Conor McGregor since August, so I'm guessing around the 100 million mark.
how true.
I don't know. He's posting videos of himself, rolling with jiu-jitsu and training and everything. So odds are you'll see him again. But that price tag, though, like they're talking about, like cutting him in and making him a partner in the company, because that way he gets his paycheck that he wants, but also that paycheck depends on him. You know what I mean? He's the biggest draw. You're not fighting, you're not getting paid. I look forward to it.
Well, talking about sports industry injuries, excuse me. What do you think of Shazier?
I think that injury is a lot worse than they let on.
I'm with you.
I think they held off to the end of the season. I think probably sometime next week they'll announce he's lucky to be walking, but he's never going to play again. I just don't think they wanted to give that negative light towards the end of the season, right before a month and a half before a Super Bowl.
And why would anybody that lived through that ever want to do that again?
Oh God, I don't know. But you know what? I've had a drive towards things, but never towards football. But like, you cripple me, I'm probably done with it. Like, I'm not even wearing like the shirt anymore.
Even just cripple me for a couple months, I'm done with it.
Yeah, because he's just now this week standing up. That's crazy.
And Big Ben swooped in there for a picture with him.
I saw that. That's still cool, though, that everybody's still supporting him. I mean, that shows where that team is as a team. You know what I mean? That you get hurt, and a lot of times it's out of sight, out of mind, but you still have players on the team showing up at the hospital to visit you. Hell, they wheeled him into a game. That's saying something. And then the passion's there. Oh, you got something else?
No.
Oh, you're looking like you're reading.
No, while we're on the football thing there, how about a prediction?
For Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Man. I'm the Eagles fan for the day right now. But I think their chance of winning this Super Bowl is about the same chance as Justin Timberlake whipping out Janet Jackson's withered boob again.
Well, give her a call. I think they're going to do it.
You think they're going to win?
I think they're going to pull this off. I think they got enough defense, and they've just been the most steady team all year long.
Even with the quarterback situation.
Yeah, Nick Foles. Who'd have thunk this, huh?
Yeah. Well, that was another one that screwed me during fantasy football. Because I had
Carson Wentz.
I had Carson Wentz as my
Aaron
backup.
Rodgers.
I had
Jinx.
I had Aaron Rodgers. I had Odell Beckham. I had Carson Wentz. I had Chris Hogan. Pretty much my entire team went down, and I still finished middle of the pack.
Good job.
That was straight luck. But getting to a Super Bowl on a backup quarterback.
Well, they only had to use him last couple games.
That's true. Well, no, Carson Wentz went out when we were still fantasy was still going on, and that was done in what, like week 12?
I think Foles played 3 regular season games, I think. I could be wrong.
Did he lose any of them?
I don't think so.
And then he made it through the playoffs.
Had some big games.
That's a lot of pressure, especially knowing that, come August, you're a backup. Like, where's your motivation?
Maybe an expensive one, though.
Might be a starter somewhere else, though. Because Carson Wentz says you're not giving up on that kid. He's pretty much brand new.
Nah, he's their future.
He's got some dings in him, but and it's just crazy to think about. Because where was he last year? He was in was he in Minnesota? No, he was in Los Angeles, wasn't he? Played for the Rams.
Man, if you're keeping track of Nick Foles, you're doing better than me.
Because I remember he was with the Rams. Then he lost his job to what's his face, that ended up on the Vikings. After the guy lost his job and on the Rams too. I still want to call him St. Louis.
Yeah, and the Chargers.
Yeah.
Have you got used to calling them Los Angeles?
Ew, no, I haven't. I heard they might be going back though, because no one's going to that game.
I hope so.
Because what do you got down there now? You got Chargers, the Rams, and Oakland's there now, aren't they? Oakland's
there, Frisco.
Well, San Francisco's further up the coast though. But are the Raiders in Los Angeles now, or are they still in Oakland? No, they're going to Las Vegas, is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
They're not there yet.
No, not yet.
That's terrifying. You're sending an NFL team somewhere where sports gambling's legal? Oh, shit. Not only that, eventually they're going to have to draft. And they're going to give a contract to a kid that's going to spend most of his time in Vegas.
Oh, man.
You're just begging for it.
Rich and 21 years old in Las Vegas.
I'm going to be 32 years old in 2 days, and you couldn't give me $1,000 and send me to Vegas. I'm going to end up in my underwear on the side of the road. It's not going to be good. It's going to be rough. I'm going to see Circus Delay, and that's about it.
How about Terrell Owens and Randy Moss, our new Hall of Famers? What would they have been at 21 in Vegas?
Ooh.
Would have been pretty.
I don't even think it's a generational thing. It's just anyone. It could be a lineman that they draft in the 6th round, and you stick him in Vegas. You got to pay that man something. What's the league minimum?
I don't know, but let's get some real entertainment. Let's get Manziel in Vegas.
They're talking about him playing in the CFL. They're trying to draft him or something. Or someone has the rights to him already.
Yeah, I heard that. I don't know if he's going or not, though.
Some weird French team.
Why not come back to Cleveland?
I don't want him in the league. I think he's just a shithead of a human.
He is. He'll never make it.
There's another thing we were talking about earlier was people complaining about athletes as a person. I don't care what kind of person Johnny Manziel is to throw the ball. I don't care about his personal life. I don't care if he's partying. Can you play on Sunday? Can you do it well? I think people especially with social media, I think they have a hard time separating life from the sport. You know what I mean?
I don't think being a great athlete should give you a license to be an ass, though.
I don't. But I also don't feel the need to know about it.
No, it seems to be when they're on your team, you're a little more forgiving with them. But when you got to look at them on other teams, well, you're ready. It's a different story.
That's true, and but still, think about Joe Namath. Would Joe Namath fly today?
There's no way on this earth that you could have Joe Namath in the league now.
He couldn't keep a secret then. Everyone knew.
He had no intentions on it. He was proud of it.
Yeah.
But that was a different era. They were colorful back then, and it was more accepted, and you didn't have all the political correctness that goes with all this. And the media, there wasn't some microphone and camera in your face 24 hours a day. And, that's what you had.
And that's another thing. Everything's a screen now. Everything's recorded. Hell, the traffic cameras are now recording everything. And that's terrifying itself to think about. Regardless of, you're a celebrity in any manner, everyone knows anything.
Yeah, we're all human beings. You're going to have different people. Not everybody can be Troy Polamalu and Cindy Crosby. You have your Terrell Owenses and Johnny Manziels. Takes all kinds, they say.
And that's another good point. Is something for people to look up to, like the Palomalus and the Sidney Crosbys, and there's not too many of them anymore.
There's a lot.
I mean,
Kurt Warner sitting there on TV.
Kurt Warner. You had Tim Tebow, but no one liked him. That poor guy.
Figured out you had to be able to play too.
Yeah, you can't just be nice. Doesn't he play baseball or something now?
I think he's trying out. I don't know how well he's doing at it.
Well, I'm not hearing about him, so not
Yeah.
well. Let's see.
Don't see him on a roster yet.
Oh, Tim Tebow's allowed to take a knee. No one said shit about that. That was another thing. Did you notice that? That went away real quick.
It did, and I couldn't be happier. If there was anything that irritated me, it was that, and everybody had an opinion on it, and I just tired of it. I just wanted to watch a football game,
That was another thing that was real off-putting about this. Like, I know people. Well, my co-host, he was so off-put about it. He pretty much lost interest in football. I don't think he watched 3 regular season games this year, just because of all the attention that was getting. Besides the game.
See, I know a few people that boycotted and didn't watch earlier in the year, but as the year wore on, I heard him talking about the game last night. So
Well, it wasn't even. He wasn't boycotting it as much as like there was so much attention towards that it was just so off-putting that he didn't want to see it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't his political stance. Like I get why they were doing it. Like I can't sympathize, but like because I don't know that struggle. But when you see videos upon videos of cops gunning down young black people and take that into account, like I understand why they were doing it, let alone I don't agree with it. I prefer like a different stance, but like you got attention and got people talking about it until they quit pointing a camera at it and it got forgotten. Because tonight when they sing that national anthem, that camera's not going towards anyone that's kneeling, and there's someone there.
I don't know. I haven't seen anybody kneeling in a long time. I don't know if they're still doing it or not.
They're still doing it. They just don't show it. They only film the players that are standing, and they only film them up close and from about the stomach up. It's part of this 10-hour news cycle that we're on. Everything gets forgotten in a minute.
I just think it was the wrong place to point your view,
Totally agree. I think with everything else you have,
social. You think that's going to be accepted? You throw that out to millions of people. They're going to see one thing.
Especially in a culture that's so knee-jerk and that just reacts to everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you put a lot of people in bad situations with that, too. Your owner, your teammates,
yes.
Everything. You go do that on your own time.
It's bad for the brand.
You're being paid. There's a rule. You stand for the national anthem. Come to the stadium, stand, and play football.
It's see, that's a weird one though, because of the freedom of speech thing. Like, it's not a law. I mean, morally, like, you should. Like, I totally believe you should. I would, but
You represent your team out in there. You know, you have freedom of speech, but you at work, you represent when they're there. They represent their franchises. That's in their contracts and stuff.
it is. I don't even know, man. It's a hard one to call because I can see it. I can see it from both sides. Like, I believe it's disrespectful. But I also see the point they were trying to make, but I feel like they should have done it a different way. You know, you have such a broad outreach with social media that you could have done it any other way. You just chose the biggest stage you had, and then everybody overreacts to everything. So then the message was lost.
I'm not even sure Kaepernick really meant to do this at first. I think maybe he was just too lazy to stand up and had to say something. I don't know. It just came out of nowhere, you know.
I like how
Whoops, I should have been standing.
I like how people were talking about like it affecting his ability to play for another team. That's not why he's not getting signed with another team. It's that the headache he's causing isn't worth his talent. If that was Tom Brady, would we be talking about this?
No, and what owner wants to face that backlash from his fans?
Exactly.
You know, you don't have a problem. Why buy another one for no reason?
And one that's not good.
Yeah.
Like,
Buy a little controversy if Tom Brady wanted to come play with you.
yeah, we'll sweep this under the table. Look at Michael Vick.
Whoa, Neil.
Michael Vick.
Yeah.
There's another one. But he atoned though. You know, he did his time.
Absolutely.
And I feel like he learned his lesson.
He did it the right way. He did his time, kept his mouth shut, came back, made amends.
Like, you look at what he's done since then too. Like, people don't understand that, yeah, he did some terrible, terrible shit to animals, but he went to prison for a long time. He got out and spent the rest of his time and money donating to charitable causes for animals. Like, he really got into it. Like, and didn't point a spotlight at it either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and people refuse to forgive him too.
Dude, he's human. You know, I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago, and neither is he. And he did grow up in Georgia, where that's a common thing. Like, dogfighting's, you know, totally common in southern states, which I don't like them, but not a fan.
Southern states or dogs?
I love dogs. The southern states, man, stuff like that still flies there.
Chicken fight? Well, we have chicken fights in the north. I have guys at work that have chicken fights.
Jesus.
That's what I said. I didn't know. I heard him talking about it.
That's disgusting. Like, don't say their name, but shame on you. Well, it's chickens. It's not dogs. Chickens don't have feelings.
It's true, and they taste good.
I saw this one thing. It had all these animals on it. It had like a cat, a dog, a horse, and then it had like a chicken, cow, pig. And it said, "Where do you draw the line between pet and food?" And someone on the picture drew a line between the horse and a pig. And he's like, right about there. Like, it had like a chicken, a duck, and a cow and a pig on one side and everything else on the other. That is a little bit messed up, how we do prioritize some animals over others. Like logically, is there a difference between eating a rabbit and a cat? Or is it just in your head? Is it like a civilization kind of thing. I hate that spring. See, I make noise too. But like, I'm not eating a cat, but I have absolutely no problem eating a pig. You know, I'll eat a chicken. Probably not eating horse though. Not willingly. I mean, I eat Chinese a lot.
It sounds like you don't know where your line is at right now.
I mean, I know where my line is. I eat the conventional farm animals. You know, pigs, chickens, cow.
Turkeys?
I'll eat a turkey. See, but like, logically, there's not much of a difference. Like, why is there a line?
And that line's different in different countries too. When I was in the military and overseas, I seen other animals hanging in windows.
Ooh, like what's the weirdest one you saw?
A dog.
Ooh, see, that's another one. Like, people from those countries, if you brought them in here, they would think we're nuts the way we treat dogs. I have my dog tattooed on me.
Oh, I think it's nuts, and I live here. You know, it's changed in my lifetime. You know, my dogs, they came inside on maybe below 0 days, and that was it.
And only in the garage.
That's it.
My dogs have a special blanket so they could sit on the couch. But at least I do that.
My dog would be jealous of your dog.
My dogs are jealous of each other sometimes. But that is a weird thing that I think about, and I just like psychology wise, because I think about that too. Just what makes a human, and what differentiates all of us from continent to continent in different societies. Like, because a lot of shit doesn't fly in other places. Like, there's still places on this earth where women aren't allowed to drive. That's nuts. I don't know. Everywhere's different, and everybody's mad at each other. That's bullshit.
So we're getting away from our football thing here.
Oh crap! I didn't make my prediction. I want a tirade. I do that a lot. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say 30-27 Patriots. But I'm betting that last touchdown is gonna be shady as shit.
We'll be talking about it a while. Huh?
There's gonna be some controversy, because I see it going the same way that every other Patriots game pretty much goes, where it's just they're gonna go up. The Eagles are gonna go up early. The Patriots are gonna go in the locker room at halftime and just come out and shit stomp them.
They figure it out at halftime, don't they?
Oh, every time. Every Patriot.
Maybe that's when they get their deflated balls out. Who knows?
Seriously. Someone's inflating something.
I don't know. I don't want to see New England tie Pittsburgh with Super Bowl records, and I don't think they will today. I'm going to say 24-21 Philadelphia.
So we both agree on about a 3-point lead. It's going to come down to a field goal.
Well, you look at all New England's Super Bowls. They were all divided by one score or less. You know, I think their biggest one was last year, the overtime game at 6 points. So,
That's
true.
true.
All of them have been squeakers.
Man, I also don't want to see them repeat. I don't like that.
I just want them to go away.
I do too. Did you ever see the picture of they have it's all the quarterbacks that have been in Super Bowls, like I think that have won Super Bowls in the last I forget how many years, but it's like just nothing but Roethlisberger and Tom Brady and who the hell else is in there?
Drew Brees,
Peyton. I need some Peyton Manning commercials tonight. I really need that.
I think you're going to get a big dose of dilly dilly tonight.
I hate that.
I love the pit of misery.
I like the pit of misery, but like it's getting a little overplayed. It's like the Budweiser commercial, like the frogs.
You know Roethlisberger worked dilly dilly into his cadence, right? Yeah, on the field. Did you hear him? Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. I don't realize things like that
Yeah, he was dilly-dillying.
all season, huh?
No, not all season. After it got old there later in the season.
At least he has a sense of humor
Mm-hmm.
before the CTE takes it.
It's only a matter of time.
I don't
We'll see what $100 million can buy you when he gets it, huh?
I don't see CTE stopping contact sports though. Especially combat sports, because that's been around since people were able to throw a fist. You know, that predates everything.
Yeah, and why is it so random? Why
It
you
is.
see some old timers who are sharp as a tack still?
You
Look at Dick Butkus.
they
You
think
talk about using your head as a weapon.
they think they think it's genetic, a lot of it too. Some people are more predisposed to it. But another thing they were talking about is the padding that they have now is more you're more likely to throw yourself into it because you feel safer. Whereas, you know, back when football started and you had like a leather helmet, you don't dare lead with your head. Hell no.
Hold that thing back a little.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap them up.
The no face mask era.
Yeah,
Men were men.
yeah, like, and you didn't see a lot of it back then. I can't speak because I wasn't there, but like, I don't remember concussions being as big a part of the game even in the early 90s.
It is true about the equipment, though. They take liberties, you know,
Absolutely.
in hockey. And now they got all those pads and helmets and everything. They just take liberties. Who would have hit you in the head with a stick back then?
Yeah, before the helmet was
Yeah,
a rule,
that's right. Who would be swinging a stick around your head?
you kept it on the ice.
The goon would come visit you.
Exactly. We need the era of the goon back.
Hey, we got a good one right now, too, here in Pittsburgh.
Man, I need to get back into hockey. I'm dragging.
I was listening to him talk about that with Rutherford, the general manager, the other day, and they were implying that Reeves hasn't worked out. And he says, when was the last time you seen Crosby, Malkin, and Letang healthy this late in the season?
It's true.
Yeah, so maybe he's got a point.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to put up goals. I mean, if you are truly returning to the era of the goon, you know, you're not looking for scoring out of him. You're looking for scoring out of your, you know, star players late in the season.
Yeah, and I don't care what someone says too. And if you're out there on that ice and Reeves is on the bench, he's in your head. You know, you're going to have to answer for what you do out there.
You don't even need him to play. He could be an alternate as long as he's sitting on that bench.
That's it.
And I'm hoping that I'm seeing the death and rise of the goon. I really do. Like, I think the Penguins tried to lead the way on doing away with the goon, and it just didn't work out.
I don't know. A couple Stanley Cups won, but what happened when the season wrapped up? Within a week, they went out and got Ryan Reeves. He was just tired of seeing his star players he's paying a fortune to get hammered.
I mean, if you can find someone that can skate decently,
Not totally embarrass you out there.
yeah, like you're not looking for someone that, like, if he can halfway play, that's a bonus.
And Reeves can.
Yeah, I mean, if you need him to, but like, you got the who was it, George LaRock?
Yeah, he didn't even need skates.
No, like his jersey didn't even have his name on it. But then someone got in his head and said you should start trying to play, and where the hell did he go?
Playing somewhere else.
I remember that because it happened while he was on the Penguins. Like, he tried to tone down that goon mentality that they got him for, and
He served no other purpose.
yeah, it's like, dude, you're not good at this. You're good at punching people on ice. That's why you're here. And who else? You had England. He was another one. But he could
play a little bit.
He could play. He was fast too.
He's still in the league.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
But I bet he's bounced around a lot.
I don't know.
Who else? There was Goddard was another one.
I liked him.
Oh man, he was a nightmare. I remember him just grabbing people and just one punching them straight to the knees.
Then he tried to become a hockey player.
Well, have fun on the nailers, big fella. No one want to see that shit. I mean, every sport has to evolve. Like, football's evolved in my lifetime. Like, I was watching, the other night, speaking of Terrell Owens and, Randy Moss, I was watching, that Undisputed with, Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. Did you ever watch that show?
Nope, never caught that.
It's okay at best. But,
They're not two of my favorite people.
no. I heard them talking to MMA one time and they pissed me off, so I never really gave it a shot, but I was trying to go to sleep. But they were showing clips of them, and especially Terrell Owens, and you look at the pads he was wearing and his build as a receiver. And like there's no receivers built like that man anymore.
He was a beast.
Even his shoulder pads are huge.
So it was obvious he was kept out of the Hall of Fame a few years because of his mouth and his actions. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I don't even think that's disputed.
I mean, do you think he should be in?
Well, they say time heals all wounds. And I think it finally did him. I think that some of the stuff that goes on today in other sports just it makes his antics and his attitude not look as uncommon as it was then. You don't have to wear the earbuds, by the way. I'm good now.
I think if you're, unless you do something that's immoral,
Yeah.
and you put that kind of career together, that's where you got to go. But
You just get fans telling you shut up. And rightfully so. They should. That's another thing that evolved with the games. You know, you don't get that in hockey, those kind of personalities really. But and I don't know why. I don't know why it's exclusive to football and MMA. It's prevalent, but like those attitudes and just being a shithead, it just seems pretty common in that sport.
in football,
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for that either, unless you're going to cross a racist line here pretty soon.
And that's not even, well, that could be listen, Ghetto doesn't know a Keller. There's no Keller in Ghetto. Like if you grow up in that situation and then you get a spotlight in front of your face, you're bound to be an asshole. And
Hockey's had their share of them, but you're not holding the candle to the NFL.
no. You don't see half the obnoxious shit you see in football and hockey. Like in MMA.
Can you picture someone taking a knee during the national anthem in a hockey game?
No.
So it'd kill him right there on the ice.
Yeah. Especially the Canadian national anthem. Go ahead. I dare you. They're going to put the whistles away for the night and just let them have at you. That's another thing in hockey that you don't see in other sports.
What's that?
At the end of like, say playoff games, where they put the whistle away and let them play.
And I hate that. If it's a 1-1 game and 1-0 game, and I scored my goal in the first period under a different set of rules than you're scoring, then you get to play in the last 2 minutes. That's just not fair.
Unless it's a tied game.
Well, that's a different thing.
And that's very different. If you don't last 5 minutes or so of a big game, you're tied up and you need this shit over with.
Yeah, why should you be able to club me to death in the last 2 minutes to prevent a goal when you couldn't do that in the first period when I scored mine,
And also, it's an excitement thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's the worst officiated sport out there. I mean, in football, if you're offsides on the last play of a 50-0 blowout, it's 5 yards. And that's just the way it should be. It should be fair the whole game, to me anyway.
But we still can't figure out a catch. We don't know what a football move is, but well, they do when you're a Patriot.
Maybe they'll get some engineers in there this year and figure this out.
I'm really crossing my fingers for this one. It's very off-putting, and well, the officiating's pretty good in baseball. I hear no one watches it, but they don't suffer. What about that one?
What's that?
The Pirates, and just Bob Nutting just blatantly not giving a shit. Dude.
I've never seen nothing like it. I don't know how you get him out of there, but man, they're investigating him and the Marlins now they're saying they're not putting their revenue sharing money back into the team. You know, that's embarrassing.
Obviously.
And it's terrible anyway. You get a team like the Yankees got $1 billion local TV contract, and they got one player on the team making as much as the Pirates' whole payroll. You know how you compete? It's out of whack now. I'm losing interest in it myself.
They need a salary cap, is what they need.
And as long as everybody's happy and everybody's rich, they ain't never going to let that happen.
No one's happy in Pittsburgh. I bet
we have some nice fireworks, though.
We have a concert by a band that's been out of their prime for 20 years, but
that's it.
The fireworks in the whole
it's
city.
It's really pretty down on the north side.
I bet at this point, if things don't improve, I bet within the next 3 years, if that team packed their bags and left, no one would blink an eye. I think it would be a Brown situation. Like, I don't think it'd be forever. But I could see that team leaving for 5 years.
You got to be losing money, and Nutting's making a fortune. So he has no incentive to really go nowhere until
you're not.
Yeah, until you're not making money. And
But how is he making money? No one goes.
All your TV contracts and your advertising and your revenue sharing that evidently he's sharing with his family.
You didn't say who I had to share it with.
That's right.
Got to be specific.
You know, he owns Seven Springs also.
Ew, really?
Yes.
Ugh.
So did you see a new spa pop up out there?
I wouldn't know. I've only heard stories of Seven Springs. Not a vacation kind of guy.
Especially when you got to slide down a hill on two boards.
That balance has never been my thing. It boggles my mind how little that you could blatantly care about a team.
It doesn't seem to embarrass him.
No, not at all. What kind of sociopath does it take to do that? Like,
or if he peeks out the window before he goes outside.
You better, because I bet he's not living anywhere around Pittsburgh. Like, you can't. Like, you can't be spending your time here. This town is ravenous. Like, I've never seen a city.
Well, he's at every game, so he's living around here somewhere.
I've never seen a city this hung up on nostalgia. That, like,
it's all we got.
Yeah, at this point. Like, I mean, they're very everyone. Pittsburgh sports teams are very proud of their team's accomplishments. But how are they letting that happen? Like, no one should be buying a single ticket. No one. Like, that shouldn't be a thing that's going on right now.
I don't think there's any precedence ever been set on getting an owner out, and that's the problem right now. And if you got another owner in there, would he be willing to lose a fortune just so we're happy?
But define fortune.
Millions and millions of dollars.
But are you still making millions and millions of dollars?
Oh, you're losing millions and millions.
But maybe baseball's the problem. Like,
salary cap. It's the only answer for that.
I mean, as a sport itself. When you have so many other more exciting games, for lack of a better word. Like I know I'm
That's why you say we identify with our sports teams in here, and that's why we do more than teams like in San Diego and Miami, where you have other entertainment places to spend your entertainment dollars. You know,
Yeah.
the oceans and a lot of other things going on. To us here, it's the Steelers. We're Yinzers.
very true. But more people care about. Would you say that the Penguins are more popular than the Pirates right now?
I would.
Now, would you call hockey more popular than baseball
In this town?
in general?
No.
You don't think?
No way.
I,
Not even close.
I couldn't name one single friend that watches baseball on a regular basis.
Really?
Nope.
It's the area you're in. The baseball is thriving. Their ratings are up. Everybody's making a fortune. Just not here.
But like, I don't have a single friend that won't watch a football game. I mean, I have more friends that are interested in hockey. It's just, I don't think that, I think in a society that is very, very, that looks forward to instant gratification, I don't see baseball surviving like it does without something like that happening where you have to make it competitive. Because it's not.
It's just not here. Yeah, I don't think you're seeing the bigger picture. It's thriving, not here.
But the teams aren't as competitive as they would be in football. Like, any given Sunday.
Well, the cap keeps you competitive.
Yes. And baseball doesn't have that, which makes it uninteresting to most people. Like,
Unless you're in Chicago, L.A., or New York.
yeah. But if you're anywhere else,
Go Steelers.
yeah. I'll see like a list of teams like when I'm flipping through my ESPN app. I have no idea who they are. There's baseball teams I've never heard of. And it's the same thing with basketball.
I know nothing about
I
basketball.
don't either. Like, what would you? Do you think football's probably more popular as a national sport than baseball at this point?
Absolutely.
No, I think I would dare to say hockey's a second. I would prioritize it over baseball. Of course, I prioritize most everything else besides baseball. I'm not interested,
I
and
just don't like baseball.
I don't. And there was a resurgence there when the Pirates broke 500 for 2 years, which if that was everybody's standard for being happy, that's sad. Being slightly over 500 shouldn't make you happy.
Well, they were way over 1 year. 98 wins, and in the offseason, Nutting decided this would be a good time to tear this team apart. So
We're gonna rebuild. Quotation marks.
I'll be asking for raises next year.
Someone's gonna want the money. It's a contract year for a lot of people. But if I just don't see how you continue to make money when you make these kind of decisions. Like, eventually people are. I've never seen people get this upset though. On the other hand, like,
No, it's a bad situation up here. I don't know what they're going to do about it. They're just going to sit here and ride this until he leaves of his own accord, I guess.
which he has to lose a crap ton of money to get that done.
He'll probably pass it on to his family.
Oh, this is like a handbook. He's gonna pass it on like Belichick passes on other teams' playbooks. I'd get one last jab at Belichick in. Well, we broke our hour.
Well, that smug son of a bitch deserves a poke. I mean, is there anybody in there that's more irritating than Belichick? I mean, he wears ripped up clothes. He's so smug. You ask him a question in an interview, he can't talk to you because he is God Belichick, and if you don't deserve an straight answer from him. So,
Well, you got to look at it this way. we're towards the end of the era.
You think? He's probably working out with Brady, so he can.
He ain't working out, man. I seen it. But we're towards the end of the Brady era. Thank God.
I don't know. He's the best quarterback in the league this year. Is that the end? It's sad, I know.
Stop bursting my bubble. Maybe he rips his ACL out and we're done. We can't repair it. You're a pirate from here on out.
Now they got Jimmy Harrison up there teaching him how to last even longer.
Oh God. See. All right, on that one, we broke the hour. Thank you for doing this.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
All right, we'll be back on our normal day, Wednesday. JP will be back. Until then, bye.